Students grow most when they understand their own thinking, when they can reflect, make choices, and take ownership of their learning in the moment. That's exactly what the Brisk Boost Student Extension makes possible. Instead of waiting days for teacher feedback, students get instant, empowering insights that help them strengthen their writing while they work, building confidence, reflection, and real metacognitive skill along the way. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how the Brisk Boost Student Extension works from both the student and teacher perspectives. That way you can see how it supports meaningful writing growth at every stage of the process. Let's dive in first to the teacher perspective. To get started, I'm going to click on the Brisk B, and next I'm going to click on the home icon. This is going to take me to Brisk Next. Now right over here up at the top, I can now come on down and I can see Manage Classes, and I can also see Student Extension. I'm going to hit on Manage Classes first, but we'll work our way back. This is where we come to create a new class. Within Brisk, I want you to think about creating a class as like a group of students working on the same writing assignment. We're now going to click where we can create a new class, and then we're going to give our class a name. After that, we're just going to click Create. Now this will create our class, and you'll see here I do have a unique link for my students. I'll show you that more in just a minute. You'll also notice that right here I can add a rubric. I'm going to click Add New, and I'll have the option to attach my rubric. Now keep in mind that Brisk will refer to this rubric until you remove or replace it. For example, if you're in a multi-week persuasive writing unit, you can keep the persuasive rubric attached the entire time. When you move on to narrative or expository writing, simply update the rubric with one click. Next, we're going to go ahead and share the assignment with students so you can see exactly what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab that unique link that Brisk has generated for me, and then I'm going to share it with my students. As the student, I can now see the invitation to join this class. Students cannot access or install the Brisk Boost extension unless they're first invited by a teacher. This keeps everything safe, secure, and teacher guided. I'll click Yes to join the class. Let's now explore how the Brisk Boost Student Extension works through the student perspective. The Boost Student Extension puts AI-powered writing feedback right at the students' fingertips, giving them support exactly when they need it. Let's take a look at how it works. When I come down, I can click open the Brisk Boost Student Extension. You'll notice here that I can enter a prompt, but no matter what, Brisk Boost will never rewrite my writing. I can also select the language I most benefit from. You'll also see that I can review the rubric that my teacher attached, and I can also see the class I'm a part of. Now imagine I'm a high school student working on my literary analysis, and I really want feedback to make my writing stronger. I can just open the Brisk Boost Student Extension, as I did, type into the prompt box, and now I can receive feedback that's aligned with the rubric my teacher shared. Let's check it out. I'm now ready to click Give Me Feedback. Brisk Boost is now reading my essay and providing me valuable feedback. I love this as an educator because it really reminds me of when I would read through all of my students' essays and I'd sit down and do one-on-one conferencing throughout the week. However, the difference is that now my students can receive timely feedback in the moment. We still want to engage in those conferencing opportunities because that's also really valuable, but now we can engage in conversations after the students have applied some of the feedback, and we can meet with them to take it to the next level as well. Reviewing the feedback, you'll see that Brisk did not rewrite any of my writing. You'll notice here that with every piece of feedback, I have the option to agree or disagree. And this is really where the metacognition comes in. If I disagree with a piece of feedback, I mark disagree, but I have to explain why. This encourages me to reflect on my decisions and also justify my thinking. Likewise, if I select agree, I can make revisions directly in my document and describe how I acted on that feedback, what I changed, and why. Either way, the extension encourages thoughtful, intentional revision, helping students build critical thinking and confidence as writers. All right, let's walk through what it looks like when I click agree or disagree. In this case, I'm going to read through and then I'm going to select agree. I've gone ahead and explained why I agree, and now I can click resolve. From here, I can keep moving down through the list. I'll also show an example if I click disagree. I've explained why I disagree, and now again, I can click resolve. Now, as the teacher, you might be curious about viewing student activity. You might want to know about the feedback they received, how they interacted with the feedback, which assignments they worked on, or when they were last active. Let me show you how you can view all of that information. I'm back in Brisk Next, where you manage classes. I'm next going to come right back under my profile, and now I'm going to come down to Student Extension. This is where I can review my student activity. You'll see all of the different times it's been used, and I can come right in here and click on that literary analysis. To gain more insights, I'm going to go ahead and open the Brisk Bee. From here, you'll see the icon with the speech bubbles. Once I click that, it's going to show me how my student interacted with this assignment. I can now review any of the feedback they received from Brisk Boost and if they agreed or disagreed, and I can also see how they interacted back with Brisk Boost. The Brisk Boost Student Extension empowers students to take ownership of their writing, think more deeply about their choices, and revise with purpose, all while giving teachers powerful insight into the learning process behind the final draft. It keeps learning moving forward, supports meaningful reflection, and helps students strengthen their writing exactly when they need it most. We can't wait to see how you and your students use Brisk Boost to grow as writers and thinkers.